Real Estate Masters. Everything you need to know about real estate, from buying and selling a house and the latest in local development and community projects to investing in local, national, and international properties. And now, here are two people who know their way around all things real estate, Tamika Bryant and David Johnston.
Welcome to TV25's Real Estate Masters. I'm David Johnston with my co-host, Dr. Tamika Bryant. Today, we're shooting on location at Affinity Enterprise Group in the Northland of Kansas City off of Tiffany Springs Parkway. And we're joined with Twyla Miller, who is operations manager for the Private Money Lending Guide. Welcome, Twyla. How are you today?
Thank you. I'm great. How are you?
Beautiful day, right?
Yeah, it is. We have a little bit of cow odor out here, but I don't know where that's coming from. But, you never know what's going to happen when you're shooting outside. It is Missouri. That's right.
That's right.
Well, thank you for taking time out of your schedule to be with us today. Could you tell us a little bit or speak to us a little bit about what the Private Money Lending Guide does or
Sure.
what it is?
It's a website, privatemoneylendingguide.com. It was built in 2009 by a company out in California, and our Affinity Enterprise Group bought it over about 2013. And it's a website that's built to help educate the real estate investor on what is private and hard money. And then it also houses a lender directory so that they can get connected with a lender when maybe they couldn't use a bank or something.
Just so we have a little bit of a background, could you speak to those two differences
Sure.
between private and hard and banks, that type of thing?
Yeah.
A lot of people may not understand what that means. I mean,
Right.
I think a lot of times we hear hard money. Do you have a hard money lender? And it
Yep.
sounds very, you don't know what. But so maybe just speak on a little bit of the differences.
Absolutely. Actually, private and hard money have very different descriptions depending on like the person. So
Okay.
me personally, I feel like a private money lender is going to be like Uncle Joe that has maybe $500,000 in the bank from his 401k, and he kind of wants to invest maybe not in the stock market, and he wants to invest in real estate instead. A hard money to me is more like a company that has kind of like a bank, but it's not your traditional conventional financing. They kind of set their own rules and regulations, but they still have these parameters that they want to fit within in these guidelines.
Okay.
I have a question.
Sure.
You have an Uncle Joe who has 500,000?
I don't.
Just saying, if somebody has an Uncle Joe, I need an
Somebody
Uncle
please call
Joe.
me.
Yeah,
Tamika's now single.
because
okay.
now we have an Uncle Joe who just
Has
appeared
500
somewhere.
grand
Yeah.
laying around.
Yeah. But typically, yeah. I mean, you're not going to find those, what I consider traditional private money lenders, because if you had that much money, would you want your name flashing around everywhere?
Sure.
So the word private money lending guide is slightly misleading maybe. In my definition then, it would be more of just your traditional non-conventional lending guide. But that's a mouthful for a website, I think. So private money lending guide's fine.
And why would somebody go for private or hard money? What's the impetus behind that?
Yeah, absolutely. There are bank regulations that restrict the amount of loans you can take through conventional.
Sure.
I think currently it's about 10. So if you were wanting to build up a rental portfolio, would you want to stop at 10 properties? I mean, so you want to find alternate ways to find those properties. Or what if a bank turned you down? Let's say you had maybe a lower credit score and you
Okay.
can't get bank financing. What would you do? You would need a hard money lender that's asset-based only, so they don't care about your personal credit score.
Okay.
And they'll lend based solely on the property.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. And I know as an investor for myself, I didn't know when I first got going about splitting the number of properties between my husband and I until later on. And so a lot of investors get going and they do it together as a husband and wife.
Mhm.
And when they do that, they lock up their credit for 10 properties together instead of going
Oh,
individually. So you have to have a group of hard money lenders actually. But I think what's key with what Twyla does, and I know she's going to share more of that with us, of course, is the piece on being able to go onto this website and it's actually a person behind it. It's her.
Right.
So if I'm an investor and I'm looking for a particular type loan, you can actually match me,
Yep.
correct,
Yeah.
to the lender. So how does that process work for you? So
Yeah.
I put my application in and I say I have $2, I have,
So
I have things, and I fill out your application and it goes to you.
Uh-huh.
What do you do with it after that?
so it's slightly in reverse. You would actually go on the website and you would filter your search results,
Okay.
and the website itself populates a list of lenders that match.
Okay.
So you would actually fill out the form for each lender, and it would go directly to the lender, but it would also, a copy of it would come to me.
Okay.
And I'm on the back end reviewing all of those forms and saying, okay, great, you sent it to this lender, but maybe you should have sent it to this lender instead.
Okay.
And so I'm kind of working behind the scenes to make sure that you maybe followed the website correctly, because maybe you stumbled across a wrong category. So I'm kind of there to redirect. And then if in the case that there isn't a lender listed, there's still a form there. So I encourage people to still fill out that form, which automatically then comes to me if there's no lender present, and then I would farm it out directly that way.
Got it.
Yep.
So although we're taping in Kansas City,
Mhm.
this is a national.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yep.
So about how many lenders are you working with?
There are about 30 that are present on the website,
Mhm.
but on the back end overall, I have connections with about 55.
Okay.
And then I have a direct connection to the American Association of Private Lenders, which has about 300 members or lenders.
Okay. So you
So
got peeps.
I'm well connected.
You better know her, David.
Yeah.
You've got peeps.
I got good credit.
You don't need me.
I'm a TV talk show host.
All right. So yeah.
So that, okay, so if we're at that process, he's such a. So if we get through that process, and that's the agent, the investor. I'm always
Yep.
in two spiels.
Yeah.
When we come back from break, because I know we're coming up close to that, can we talk about how an agent can get involved, because they're working with investors, and how they can get involved in that process?
Yeah, absolutely.
So we're going to address that, or we're not going to. Twyla's going to address that when we come back. Thank you for watching Real Estate Masters on TV 25.